Hello, in this video I'm going to be comparing these Stihl Bluetooth ear defenders with these IsoTunes Link 2.0 Bluetooth ear defenders. I've owned the Stihl ones now for about 18 months. I've been using them non-stop ever since I got them. I paid for them with my own money and I think the cost was around £75. And just so you know, I have no affiliation with Stihl whatsoever. I've owned the IsoTunes Link 2.0 for about 2 weeks and I've used them once, and spoiler alert, I went back to using the Stihl ones immediately for reasons which will become apparent in this video. For full disclosure, the IsoTunes were sent to me for free by IsoTunes, but they don't know that I'm making this video. The build quality on the Stihl ones, I would say, is excellent. They feel high quality and robust and heavy duty. They're built like a tank really, and that's what I want from a product that I'm using while I'm working. And they've certainly taken a few knocks over the 18 months that I've been using them, and they still work almost perfectly. On one occasion, and it was only one occasion several months ago now, I lost audio from one ear. I didn't know whether there was a loose connection or just some kind of Bluetooth glitch. So I turned them off and back on again and they worked perfectly again. And that hasn't happened again ever since. So I'm pretty sure at this point that it was just some kind of Bluetooth glitch. But for that reason, I can't give them a perfect score. So I'm going to give them 9.5 out of 10. The IsoTunes are also well made, but my gut feel when handling them is that they are not as heavy duty. If I didn't have the Stihl ones to compare them to, I would say they feel good enough and I would certainly be happy with them. But they don't feel quite as premium as the Stihl ones, and if I were going to throw both of these around, my gut feel is that the IsoTunes might break first. For me, the IsoTunes are ever so slightly more comfortable than the Stihl ones. The rubber ear pads on the IsoTunes are a little bit softer and they fit less tight on the head. I would give the IsoTunes a 9 out of 10. The Stihl ones though are very comfortable too, but they do clamp down a little bit firmer on the head. For me, that's not an issue though, and every time I'm working, I'm wearing these for sometimes up to 8 or 9 hours a day without any issues. So I would give these an 8.5 out of 10. On the IsoTunes, you get 5 buttons, 2 controlling the volume, 2 for skipping tracks forwards and backwards, and the center button for playing, pausing, and answering and ending phone calls. The buttons work great, they're nice and clicky, they do everything you would want them to do. So for me, I'd give the IsoTunes a 10 out of 10. The Stihl only have 3 buttons, power on and off, which also works for answering and ending calls, and a volume up and down, which also work for skipping tracks. You just have to hold those buttons down for 2 seconds. But I'm only going to give these 9 out of 10 because personally I prefer having separate buttons. So for me, the IsoTunes have the better controls. Distance range, so this is basically how far away from your device can you be so that the Bluetooth still works. Let's put these to the test in a real world example. So I pressed play and put my phone down on the doorstep and basically walked as far as I could until the Bluetooth started to break up, which was about here. And there wasn't really much in it. The IsoTunes performed a little bit better, but only by less than a meter. I'm going to say 8.5 for the IsoTunes and 8 for the Stihl. These IsoTunes Link 2 are a brand new product, so why on earth are they fitted with a USB-B port rather than a USB-C, which is meant to be the new standard for everything? I don't get it, and it's annoying to me, I'll be honest. I'm going to give these a 4 out of 10 for that reason. You do get a USB cable in the box, but not a power supply. The Stihl are an older product and they are fitted with this type of power connector here. I'm not sure what it's called. And you also get a cable in the box, but not a power supply. If I were to lose the cable, I don't know how difficult it would be to get another one. So I'm also going to give the Stihl a 4 for that reason. The IsoTunes are rated at 50 hours. But I can't say that I've tested that out, so please do take that rating with a grain of salt, as manufacturers do tend to exaggerate battery life figures from time to time. Another thing is that you can actually install 3 AAA batteries to these, which would be a nice backup if you wanted to carry on working when the pre-installed lithium-ion battery runs out. The Stihl battery life is rated at 38 hours, and again, I haven't timed how long the battery lasts, but I will say that it lasts incredibly well. Usually I probably charge them maybe once a month. So yeah, really impressive battery life. Whether the IsoTunes last longer or not, I can't say, but I think it's safe to assume that the battery life is more than adequate on both of these units. But I'm going to give the edge to the IsoTunes because of that option of swapping out the lithium-ion battery for the AAAs. So IsoTunes 10, Stihl 9.5. Sound quality. So let me preface this by saying that I consider my ears to be pretty good. I mean, I'm not an audiophile, but I've done a lot of work in music production for 10 years or more, recording and mixing music in studio settings. I'm not a total snob when it comes to hi-fi or audio quality, but I do care about it. And for me, it has to be good enough for me to listen to it. If it isn't good enough, I simply won't use it. These Sony headphones are my headphones of choice if I'm listening to music around the home. These are not Bluetooth ear defenders, they're just headphones. But the audio quality really is quite good. I would say these are probably a 9 out of 10. But back to the subject of this video, these Stihl ones to my ears are good enough. They are not excellent. I'd give them a 7.5 out of 10. When I first put on the IsoTunes, I was very surprised at the sound quality. They sound like the sort of earphones that don't have a well-known established audio brand name on them, that you'd pick up cheap from a corner shop when you've lost your usual headphones, but you want something just to get you through a train journey or something because you can't bear the thought of doing a long journey without having anything to listen to. I also found them really quite fatiguing to the ears. So after listening to them for maybe 3 or 4 hours, I just didn't want to listen to them anymore. If you're only going to be listening to podcasts and audiobooks, then maybe they're passable. Or if you simply don't care about audio quality, or maybe your ears aren't quite as fussy as mine. But I certainly wouldn't recommend listening to music on these. If you do, then in my opinion, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. I really was quite disappointed. But the audio issues with these don't stop there, unfortunately, with the IsoTunes, because they are simply too quiet to use in a workshop setting. It's probably going to depend on what you're listening to, but with these at maximum volume, they're going to be fine in most situations. But if you're listening to older music that hasn't been compressed and mastered to more modern music standards, or if you're listening to a podcast where not much effort has been made to master the audio professionally, which by the way is quite a high proportion of podcasts, certainly the ones I listen to anyway, you simply aren't going to be able to hear what people are saying over the sound of most of your workshop machines. So again, a huge disappointment for me. I understand that there are regulations that are designed to protect ears for health and safety reasons, and obviously I'm not recommending that people go and listen to music at high volumes on these things, but the problem with these regulations that encourage manufacturers to put volume limiters on their devices is that they're not intelligent. They don't detect the audio level and adjust accordingly. They just apply a blanket limiter to whatever it is you're listening to. So for example, if you don't take into account the fact that lots of particularly older audio recordings are much quieter than modern ones, or that people who make podcasts don't mix and master their audio to a professional standard, then you end up with a product that doesn't deliver on what it's intended to do. So for me, that's a huge deal breaker. And if I was reviewing these in terms of sound quality alone, I'd give them a 3.5 out of 10, I think. But with the volume issue on top of that, I think it's going to have to be a 1 out of 10. The IsoTunes have an IPX4 rating, meaning that they are sweat and weather resistant. They also have an optional microphone accessory, one of those kind of Madonna style microphones, for better sound quality when making phone calls. I was offered that too, but being an introvert, I tend to find every excuse not to talk to people over the phone. So I didn't want it, and I can't tell you if it's any good or not. These do also have a built-in microphone though, so you can still use them for phone calls if you don't have that accessory. But I haven't used it yet, so I can't say how well that works. The Stihl also have a built-in microphone for phone calls, and it works great. I've taken calls on it in the past, and it all worked fine. I couldn't find an IP rating for these, but I have used them in the rain a few times without any issues. So again, the IsoTunes have more features. I'm going to give these a 10, and I'll give the Stihl an 8. So that's it. Obviously, these are just my opinions, but I would say that while the IsoTunes have lots of great features, they ultimately failed as a product for me, and if I paid for them with my own money, I would be taking them back and getting a refund. Whereas the Stihl ones that I've been using for 18 months are reliable, robust, comfortable, and they succeed as a product because I can actually hear whatever I want to listen to through these. And the sound quality is good enough. I've been very happy with them, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend them to anyone. Please subscribe for more videos if you'd like to help support the channel, plus get early access to my videos, exclusive content, free project plans and cut lists, and a name credit at the end of my videos. You can sign up to my Patreon page or YouTube channel membership. Links are down in the description box below. Thank you for watching.